Declan Rice just showed why Arsenal paid £105 million for him, and he did it against the club that raised him. This wasn't just a win, this was personal. Welcome to All About Arsenal. Today we are just having a quick match reaction from the amazing 2-0 win over West Ham United, a game where Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka got the plaudits for yet another amazing victory. This victory has had a very, very big significance in the fact that Arsenal are currently on top of the Premier League table, and we're going to discuss about that, obviously. But without further ado, I'm just thinking of let us have a quick overview of how the match panned out and what we did. Starting with the lineup, I was very, very pleased with the lineup that Arteta used for this game. We had the usual regulars at the back, David Raya in goal, Julian Timber and Calafiori returning from their rests at the fullback positions. Gabriel was declared fit, and played alongside Saliba in the middle. But where my delight came was seeing Emirates Eze and Odegaard as the central midfielders, with only Declan Rice playing the anchor role. One thought process that many Arsenal fans had was that in the games where Arsenal are playing against teams that are going to have very deep low blocks, we would need to have a double attacking midfield duo of Eze and Odegaard, who are basically our two most creative players. And that would actually mean either having Rice or Zubimendi. Hi Kelechi, welcome to the chat. Yeah, my guest couldn't turn up on time. I guess the timing wasn't too good for them or something. So I'm going to write this one solo. But if you want to be a guest, I can give you the link and you join me. I would love to have you if you don't mind. So, looking at the lineups, we had Declan Rice and Declan Rice playing the anchor role. And further up the pitch, it was the same folks, Gyökeres leading the attack, Bukayo Saka on the right wing, and Leandro Trossard on the left. West Ham, on the other hand, basically used the same squad that got a 1-1 draw against Everton, with Alphonse Areola in goal. But Kyle Walker-Peters was replaced by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He was declared fit for this game. And with Wan-Bissaka favoured ahead of Kyle Walker-Peters, he got the nod from his manager. Elijah Malik Diouf played on the left-hand side, while Max Kilman and Konstantinos Mavropanos played at the centre-backs. Suguntu Magasa was the holding midfielder, and ahead of him were Lucas Paqueta and Matias Fernandez, with Crescencio Somerville and Jarrod Bowen providing support from the flanks, and Christian Fulkrug was the centre forward. This was what we expected to see from West Ham. The game was relatively poised. I started to watch along with the game, but I had to leave abruptly, and I apologize for that. And after doing what I went to do, I kind of went to, see the game in a pub, had a couple of pints to match. But this was a very good lineup. But unfortunately, there were some challenges because Odegaard suffered yet another injury. I think this one was his knee this time. He tried to play through it, but unfortunately, he could not. He could not play out through it, and he had to, leave. So when he was substituted, Martins Bimendi came and replaced him. And that was something that was very key because obviously Martins Bimendi replacing him, that was us going back to our usual formation. That was us going back to our usual formation with Declan Rice in the box-to-box role, while Zubimendi was in the holding role. But this time, Emirates Eze was not in the right 8. He played at his attacking midfield. Just like what we did when we visited Newcastle. So I'm really hoping that Odegaard's injury is not too severe because Odegaard is a very key player for the squad. But at the same time, I'm very happy with the kind of depth that we have in the team right now. Even though we have the international break coming up and there will be 2 weeks for most of our guys to recover because even in the game, Declan Rice also hit the deck and had to be substituted for Mikel Merino. As for the match opener, it was something that we were happy to see. And Declan Rice carried the opening game of the game. It was a goal that came off when Emirates Easy fired the shot that was saved by Ariola, but Ariola's shot went straight to Declan Rice's path, and he dispatched it aplomb. Eze actually had a chance like this earlier in the first half with less than 6 yards out, but somehow he managed to play his ball over the bar. Somehow he managed to play his ball over the bar, and that was something that was crazy. So Arsenal needed this. We had so many attempts on goal. I think our overall stats showed how dominant we were on the night. Let me just quickly check it up on foot mode. Um, so the stats here say we had 21 shots with 5 on target and 4 big chances. Yeah, there was a very big chance for Julian Timber in the first half. That was saved by Riola. And there's also the big chance that Berechi Easy missed, obviously, which was the one that went over the bar. There was also a time when there was a cutback from Trossard to Gyökeres, but he didn't get to the ball on time. So Arsenal had some very, very big chances in the game. But Declan Rice goal kind of calmed our nerves because we needed him to, do that. Then we had the match clincher. Well, this is quite questionable. I know that we have been talking about how we've been having some terrible VAR decisions against us, but I think this one was wrong because Timber was tackled by Diouf outside the box, and he fell into the box. And the folks in VAR, with their infinite wisdom, looked at that chance and declared that it was a penalty. Well, I'm saying worse, but I just feel that if I'm trying to be transparent here, I don't believe it was a penalty. But the shocking thing now was, okay, who was going to take it? Because the last time we had the opportunity for a penalty, Saka held the ball, right? And VAR made their call against Newcastle and cancelled it. So that penalty didn't happen. But what the thought process of the fans was that Saka will hold the ball and hand it over to Victor Gyökeres to play it. But not this time. Our star boy, who was also the captain of the day, took the ball and dispatched it past Ariola. It was a very beautiful penalty. And also a milestone appearance for him. This was his 200th Premier League appearance. And that goal was his 100th contribution. He has scored 55 goals in the Premier League and 45 assists. Like, that record is amazing. It's quite amazing. That's what I can say. And to see Saka do what he did made me very happy and all that. So obviously he had to play 90 minutes because we had a couple of substitutions. Some were injury enforced, like Odegaard going out for Zubimendi, like Declan Rice going out for Merino. But we also put up youngsters, Nwaneri and Miles Lewis Kelly, who also came on too for some action. So Saka had to play 90 minutes in this match. Our tactics were really good. Arsenal pressed West Ham very well. Had an XG overall of 2.73, while West Ham had 0.49. Arsenal had 21 shots. West Ham had just 4. Arsenal had 5 shots on target. West Ham had 0. Arsenal had 4 big chances. West Ham had 2. Arsenal missed 2 big chances. West Ham missed 2. Arsenal had 496 accurate passes with an 88% completion rate. While West Ham had 207 passes with a 79% completion rate. Arsenal also had 8 corners, West Ham's 3, and 14 fouls committed on both sides. It was quite a clean game, with not much free kicks and all that and injuries, but it was good to see that Arteta's tactics were on point yet again. I really loved the idea he deployed, bringing on Eze and Odegaard at the start of the game. But unfortunately, we could not see them cook because Odegaard suffered that injury. But this clearly shows that it's something that he's willing to do, and we should be looking forward to the prospect of Izzy and Odegaard playing from the middle in the future, even though it's going to be at the expense of either Declan Rice or Martins Mendy. To my player ratings, Raya gets a 7. He was relatively untroubled in the course of the game. Timber was amazing as always. He gets an 8 from me. It was a very beautiful performance from him. Saliba, a Rolls Royce defender, had a 7. Gabriel had a 7 as well. Good to see him go through the whole 90 minutes without getting any injury again. There was a scare on him on Wednesday against Olympiacos. And Alafiori gets a 7. He did well as well. Odegaard, I think he gets a 6. So that 5 for Calafiori was wrong. I think it's going to be a 7. I apologize for that. Odegaard gets a 6. He didn't play much before he was yanked off from the pitch. Declan Rice gets an 8. He was clearly our man of the match. Despite the goal, he had a wonderful performance. Izzy gets a 7 as well. Or a 6. The game was quite average, but he was decent. Saka just had a good penalty, but didn't really see his impact as much, so he gets a 7. It's another game where Victor Gyökeres struggled. With a 6 I'm going to get for him. Then, of course, Trossard gets a 7. What does this win mean for us? Clearly, we had hate watch on show because as soon as Arsenal won the game against West Ham, we had the game between Chelsea and Liverpool, and it was good to see Chelsea get a very late win that crushed Liverpool hearts and also guaranteed that Arsenal is going to go into the international break on top. So the question now would be, who are our next opponents? If we're going to go to Craven Cottage, another hard ground. For some reason, just like last season, we played Fulham and West Ham close to each other. I think we already lost to both of them back to back. But this time we're getting a win against West Ham. So after going into international break, we will just hope that players will be fit so they get any injuries. And of course, we'll hope for a win against Fulham as well. There's so much that will go on before then on the channel, reviews, national football breakdowns, and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you guys a lot of content to keep this while we wait for the clash against Fulham. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for today. And thanks for being part of tonight's match reaction. Just a quick one just to see how we played against our opposition. And I'm looking forward to celebrating our time at the top of the Premier League up until when we meet again after the international break. But between now and the international break, there will be a couple of videos I'll be shooting on different things. Maybe I can look at some player previews, look at some stats and different things that obviously we used to keep ourselves busy. But till then, come on, you Arsenal.